Then you've got organization and human performance. This is the way that your organizational policies and processes influence a human. In this day and age, what we are calling the new age. In the new age, more and more people are having to find ways to work for themselves because they cannot stand having to work according to shifts or according to scheduled time. The human species is the only species that can be cognitively aware of what we need to do, but able to hinder ourselves and other people in doing that. Our society creates a cage around employees that stops employees from thinking for themselves and feeling what they need to feel at any given point in time. And that is why our younger generation is all gung-ho about entrepreneurship and the digital age and getting out of a 9-to-5 and all of that glorious stuff. You then have the design philosophy. This is the tools, the equipment, the training aids, and the operating systems with respect to whoever is using it. Design philosophy is this. Is something designed to be easy to understand and easy to use? That is design philosophy. And it refers to anything, hardware, software, even an environment. Okay, if you go to a work environment, it needs to be designed to fit that work. If you're at a workshop, it has to be designed that you have space to work on things. If you go to a classroom, it has to be designed that you can have students sitting where they need to sit. Okay, that is design philosophy. How do we as humans use what it is that we need to use in order to get a job done or in order to be effective in the use of said item? We go on to human performance modeling. This factor seeks to take very complex real-world scenarios and simplify them into scenarios which we can understand better. Do you want to know what I just said? I said I have a gripe with this because it makes it all about pilots. 90% of the people who do this course are not pilots. They don't have background in aviation. They are fresh, which means they have background in being a human. This is exactly what we do here. Human performance modeling is taking away the understanding of pilots and turning it into a much better understood circumstance. Okay? And that is then human performance modeling. We're turning it into something that we can understand. Then you go on to human factors training. This factor seeks to ensure adequate initial and recurrent training in respect of human factors and their behavior. Your behavior is affected by your human factors. If you're thrown into a job and you're not trained at all and you need to figure out what to do, your human behavior is going to dictate your human factors. If you have a go-to attitude that's like, yes, I'm just going to learn and pile drive this information and just get it going, then your human factors is going to represent that. Because now you're going to have an easier time. It's going to be hell for a week, but then easier time for the next months. Versus those who learn on the job nice and steady, you're going to have a hell for a long time because you're not just putting the effort and learning what you need. Okay? And that is your human factors training, is then having the training necessary so that your human factors and your human behavior will match that of the work ethic that the workplace wants. If you're part of a team and you don't know what you're doing, it is up to the team to train you to know what you're doing. You know, the weakest link is, or the team is only as strong as its weakest link. That whole thing, that whole saying, that's where human factors training comes in.